How's it going, guys? Alex here. Welcome back to another SSR Analysis video, and today we are going to be taking a look at the newest rebirths. This includes STR Android 17, INT Android 18, we have the Agility Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, we have Agility Full Power Bojack, we have Zangya, sorry for butchering the name, and of course we have STR Full Power Bojack. So let's go ahead and start off with STR Android 17. His leader skill gives free key to STR, INT, and Tech types, as well as a 20% stat boost. He causes supreme damage and raises his own attack for 6 turns. His 12 key multiplier is 135%. His passive skill gives him a 40% attack boost, and he changes agility type orbs into rainbow orbs. He has infinite energy, Android Assault, Twin Terrors, the Innocent, Soul vs Soul, Fear and Faith, and Fierce Battle. So at the moment, because the main STR lead is Super Saiyan 4 Goku, he isn't too relevant, but he still can be a good unit in the future when the Extreme STR lead comes out. He has great links for that team. For example, he has Fear and Faith, he has Fierce Battles. So the main thing that he would provide to that team is definitely the orb changing for LR Frieza. That's going to be a massive help, and keep in mind he also has links like Fear and Faith and Fierce Battle. Fear and Faith will most likely be the most common link on that team, just because not too many Extreme STR types have shocking speed. Granted, there are a few, but there aren't too many that you're going to be putting into your team unless you don't have the optimal units, of course. So for example, you have Omega Shenron with Fear and Faith, you have Zamasu, you have LR Frieza, and in the future I would imagine that a lot more units are going to get that link. Unfortunately, STR Perfect Cell does not have the Fear and Faith link, which obviously makes shocking speed his main link, and because not too many units do have it, you can see where the problems start to come up a bit. But because he has an orb change, that is definitely going to help a few of the problems that the team may have. But for the most part, he is definitely going to be a great addition to that team. But at the moment, he isn't the most relevant unit. It's a shame that he is missing out on attack links like Nightmare, but he is still a decent unit nonetheless. And he is going to hit relatively hard on an Extreme STR team. And of course, if you don't have too many great leads, he is a decent replacement because he gives the free key to the 3 different types, as well as the 20% stat boost. And whilst that doesn't seem too great, if you were to run an entire Extreme STR team, you could just run him as a lead. And of course, whilst the stat boost isn't that noticeable, if you were to take the Extreme STR lead as a friend, you would still be getting a 140% stat boost, which is pretty decent. So now moving on to INT Android 18, her leader skill gives 2 key to STR Tech and INT types, as well as a 30% stat boost. She causes supreme damage and greatly lowers defense. And one thing that I forgot to mention about the STR Android 17 is that he can raise his own attack for 6 turns. So because of the way that passives work now, and they don't reset of every phase switch, that is definitely going to be more viable, and he is going to be hitting harder than Android 18, for example. But moving on to her passive skill, she weakens regeneration and she changes rainbow orbs into key orbs, and she also gets a 30% attack and defensive boost. Her links are Infinite Energy, Android Assault, Twin Terrors, Battlefield Diva, Soul vs Soul, Nightmare, and Fierce Battles. So you can probably tell that she is missing a link that Android 17 has, and that is the Fear and Faith link. And for whatever reason, Bandai decided to give her the Nightmare link instead of Fear and Faith, and for whatever reason they decided to give Android 17 the Fear and Faith link instead of the Nightmare link. Why not give them both things? You know what I mean? It's so weird, and I'm surprised that they didn't give them those links with the newest rebirth. So unfortunately, Android 18 is kind of lacking when it comes to key links, but she does have the Nightmare link, which is a very good attack link. But like Android 17, her main purpose is to be an orb changer. She is kind of in the same boat as 17 in the sense that she isn't too relevant at the moment. One of the reasons is because Super Saiyan Rage Trunks is a much better partner for LR Gohan. But let's say you didn't have LR Gohan and you just wanted to run a double Buhan lead. She would be a decent option, but there are better orb changes such as Android 13. I can't remember what orb he changes specifically, but he changes that specific orb into a rainbow orb, which creates more options for units like Buhan. And rainbow orbs can be limited for Android 18, so that's where you may start to encounter a few problems. For whatever reason you decided to run Android 18 and Android 13, you can make a pretty good combo, because you would have 13 changing specific orbs into rainbow orbs, and then you would have 18 changing the rainbow orbs into INT orbs. But unfortunately, she is missing that Fear and Faith link, which would have been a massive improvement. But she at least has the Nightmare link, which is a decent link, but she does have Nightmare, which is a decent attack link. But I honestly don't see her being too relevant unless you don't have any other orb changes. Okay, now moving on to the Agility Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. His leader skill gives free key and a 30% stat boost to Agility and STR types. He causes supreme damage and raises his own attack for 3 turns. His passive skill gives 2 key and a 25% attack and defensive boost to Agility and STR types. And if we have a look at his links, he has Golden Warrior, Saiyan Warrior Race, Super Saiyan, Kamehameha, Prepare for Battle, and Shattering the Limit. So this is probably going to annoy a lot of people, but this Gohan basically makes the World Tournament Gohan irrelevant. Obviously, if you have him, if you don't have him, the World Tournament Gohan is still very good, but he does what the World Tournament Gohan does, but better on an Agility type team. He hits harder, he raises his own attack for 3 turns, he gives a 25% attack and defensive boost, he has the Kamehameha power link, which would raise his attack even further. And to be honest, he is just a better unit overall. And if you don't have any good leads, Gohan is a good replacement, because if you were to use a Gohan lead and the Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta friend, you would get a total stat boost of 150%, which is slightly more than a double Super Vegito lead. But definitely don't overlook him just because he is a support unit. He may not give as much of a boost of his passive as some of the other support units, but this definitely does make a difference. I'm actually going to link a post in the comment section down below and description for you guys to check out, and it basically tells you how certain support units work and how they greatly increase the attack of certain units. But overall thoughts, great addition to an agility team. To be honest, agility at the moment kind of struggles for that 6th slot, but this Gohan is definitely one of the best options for now. So now moving on to the agility full power Bojack. You spoke about him briefly when I did my analysis on Super 17, and hopefully he has improved enough to the point where he will be able to be on that specific team. His leader skill gives 2 key and a 50% attack and defensive boost to agility and int types, so this leader skill is pretty much useless because he does not give that health boost, which is definitely the best thing about the stat boost. He causes supreme damage and greatly lowers defense. His 12 key multiplier is 135%, gets a 90% attack boost at the start of the turn, and if we have a look at his links, he has the Hera Clan, Galactic Warriors, Big Bad Bosses, First for Conquest, Coward, Wall Standing Tall, and Shattering the Limit. So unfortunately they did not give him Fear and Faith or Shocking Speed, which means that he is not going to be linking that well, but despite that he is still a unit that you want to run. He is definitely going to be one of your floaters, but the fact that he has Big Bad Bosses and that 90% attack boost makes him good enough to be on this team. And to be honest, Bojack is most likely going to be coming up on rotations with the new Android 17, which would mean that Bojack would only need to collect 4 key to launch a super attack. So as you can tell, when you have a particular set of units, and of course he is in a certain rotation, he is going to be providing something. So moving on to the unit whose name I'm going to butcher, Zangya, sorry if I completely butchered that. Her leader skill gives 2 key and a 20% attack and defensive boost to all types when HP is 30% or above. She causes extreme damage and lowers attack. She recovers 10% HP at the start of the turn, and if we have a look at her links, she has the Hera Clan, Galactic Warriors, Battlefield Diva, Brutal Beatdown, Loyalty, and Shocking Speed. And this completely just left my mind. Quickly going back to Bojack, of course he has Super Saiyan modes as well. He gives 3 key to extreme types, so you're basically going to have next to no problem super attacking with the majority of your units. So she's an interesting card. I may honestly run her because I don't have too many great units. She lowers attack, which is nice. She has Shocking Speed. Apart from that, she doesn't have many other great links for this team. Granted, she does have the Hera Clan, which she would share with Bojack, but they are most likely going to be floaters, so that link would never activate. And her healing abilities, again, can be useful if you don't have the greatest units. But then again, you have Kid Buu, who increases more health, he hits harder, he has better links, but he doesn't lower attack. So I guess you can switch it up between those two. So she does have a few good things about her, mainly lowering attack. But I feel like they should have given her greatly lowering attack just to make her a bit more relevant. But she's a decent option if you don't have the optimal team. So now moving on to STR Full Power Bojack. His leader skill gives 2 key and a 50% attack and defensive boost to STR types. He causes extreme damage and greatly lowers defense. He gets a 90% attack boost when performing a super attack, and if we have a look at his links, he has the Hera Clan, Galactic Warriors, Big Bad Bosses, First for Conquest, Coward, Wall Standing Tall, and Shattering the Limit. So in a way, he kind of got shafted because they did not give him supreme damage. They could have at least given him Fear and Faith or Shocking Speed to make up for that, but he kind of got dicked on, let's be honest here. It doesn't mean that he won't be a decent unit on an extreme STR team, but when you compare him to the agility Bojack, he is a step down in terms of damage. He has a 12 key multiplier of 133%, whereas the agility type has 135. But for real, he will be a decent unit on an extreme STR team. He has First for Conquest, which is a link that he shares with LR Frieza. It provides a 15% attack boost to himself and obviously LR Frieza. And of course, he still has Big Bad Bosses, which is still a very good link. It's just a shame that they didn't give him supreme damage, but he will still be a good unit in the future. So to quickly go over the units again, Android 17 is going to be a good unit on an extreme STR team. Android 18 would be much better if she changed a specific orb into a rainbow orb, and she could potentially have a spot on an extreme in-type team. Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is an incredible unit, and to be honest, he should be on most of the agility type teams. Agility Bojack is a decent addition to a Super 17 team. Zangya is a decent unit, but there are others that do her job better. And then of course you have STR Full Power Bojack, who at the moment has a spot on an extreme STR team, but he could definitely be replaced in the future if better units come out. But that is it guys, I hope you all enjoyed it, and if you did, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you all in the next one.